Both teams have had their ups and downs this entire year, and they do not want their journeys to end here. But this is elimination. Crew, they've avoided elimination already, but for Team SMG, they just lost, so they got to dig a little bit deeper.
Are you expecting his position up in ledge? The first falls, the second does too. An upgrade of the weapon as Shirazi continues to farm.
Oh
Four
my.
on the round.
That's the second 4K in a row for Shirazi.
Crew understanding they're going to have to fight into some of this aggression, and Kamiyu lights up the kill feed. She's on the board. 3 kills on the round.
Crew so obviously not ready for this aggressive SMG that we're seeing, and this is the SMG that we saw on the first day that we really, really like.
It's just Kinnear left on site. That's going to be a lot to hold on her own. Rami playing over there. Kinnear getting the first, not able to get the second, but there she was. Almost had the shot. 13-3 absolute dominance in favor of SMG. Not concerned about the fact that they're facing elimination. Not concerned that they only ran one duelist. The results are the same. They've got the satchels, they've got a nade. You've got so many things to deal with. And Eric getting the first. Michaela 4 on the round as they tie us up early. Is that enough to manipulate things really hard? No, Alexi goes exploring. Alexi finds 2. Shirazi alleviating pressure on the opposite side of the map as well. And that results in a prime game of Flawless.
Yeah. So good, but Kamiyu actually getting picked off, even though she still had Molly's and Kohabi and Neri left in a 2v1, make that a 1v1.
7 DHP, she's got to go fast. She's got to go so freaking fast. And an Aries there to greet her. SMG survive!
That was so well played by SMG. Super back and forth. All of these rounds were somewhat close, but again, after an amazing dominant performance in that first map, SMG ending on top.
Welcome back to day 4 of Game Changers Championship 2023 and our lower bracket matchup between Hometown Heroes Team Liquid and BBL. Surprise! It is I, Mika Fabs, on the desk this time with Baby Bay and Sapphire. You know, a lot of people say, oh, hey, thanks for having me here. I'm the one who says, hey, thanks for having me here, guys.
Yeah, it's awesome. And this is your first time on here, right? This is sick.
Yes. Oh, it's nice. I love what you've done with the place.
Yeah, this was all us. This is all me.
Yeah, good job, guys. Good job. But I am super, super excited because it is going to be Team Liquid versus BBL. And Team Liquid, they avoided elimination and won in front of the hometown crowd on the backs of so many. Georgina, 4K, Sapphire. It was amazing. She is like the gatekeeper, I feel like, for Team Liquid on every single match they have.
Right, it's insane. Obviously, people always talk about Daiki and Bastarda, but Georgina popped off yesterday. There were, I think, 4 4Ks throughout the series. There's so many like insane headshots, nice transfers, and not only like are those pivotal for helping the team win the rounds, but like her pop-offs, her energy, her excitement got not just her team going, but the crowd going, and all of Brazil is behind Team Liquid.
That's exactly what I was going to say. As a player, when you get those 4Ks, it just gets you amped up, and it feeds into every single one of your teammates, and it just brings this energy that they honestly needed, especially here at the home crowd.
Speaking of which, you know, that seems to be like the thing with Team Liquid. They were playing with a different sort of fire yesterday. I know that the map was like quite close, but it didn't feel that way. It felt like it was like, you know, there was this amazing momentum that the team had, right? And you saw it in all of the players. Daiki, for example, had such an amazing game yesterday. We cannot stop talking about this girl because she is definitely one of these players that we love to look out for, especially since, you know, we saw how, like, you know, all of the IGLs in this in this tournament right now have been popping off and have been, like, you know, have this experience behind them. But Daiki is like, she has the home crowd behind her too.
She's incredible. I am such a big fan of this player, and she is so young too. Like, her career is just getting started, and she's already one of, if not the best IGLs in one of the strongest regions in Game Changers, leading her team on this hopeful lower bracket run.
She's an amazing firecracker, and I have been waiting for this moment, you guys. All week, people have been throwing to me outside, and now it's my turn. Let's send it over to Janiro, who is standing by with Daiki.
Hi, Daiki. Hey, how's it going? How are you doing? How are you feeling today?
Really good, really confident.
All right. So the confidence was showing yesterday. You guys came out in full force. It was a little bit of a slower start to the tournament. So how are you looking to keep that momentum going? Because the crowd absolutely loved it.
We just try to keep the confidence, and I think it will be all good. So that's it. I will not do something different. Just keep confidence, and that's it.
That's it.
Really confident.
Thank you so much. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Oh, well, I think if they keep that kind of confidence, they have nothing to worry about, Baby Bay. I mean,
Yeah.
look at this. They have such creative fans. They have all of the support out there.
Yeah, and just straight to the point, huh? 2XO versus EG. Just serious about it, you know what I mean? And this is what I like to see. They have a goal in mind, and they want to take this run all the way through to the finals.
Yeah, it's amazing too. I love that Daiki, by the way. She seems to be a kind of like an inspirational IGL.
Yeah.
I actually saw her earlier, as the team rolled in. She was feeling good, and I was asking, yesterday was so crazy. Were there any crazy calls that you were calling out? Because like we mentioned earlier, the energy was different, and she was saying how two particular rounds stood out to her. There was that one round on Ascent, and I believe it was round 8. We might see it later on, but where she just basically decided to bait herself so that Bastarda could get that nice kill. And looking back at that, she actually does that. She sets up her team for the best possible scenario, Sapphire.
Yeah, she's definitely a team player, and that's that round where she literally is just tanking the Killjoy ult because she has so much faith in her player Bastarda to help her win the round. But yeah, she's always looking out for the team, sacrificing herself for the betterment of the players.
Yeah.
And the craziest thing about this is she's still dropping bombs while she's doing that. She's top fragging in the server. She has the most assists, and she's IGLing and setting up her team. It's just like crazy to see this out of an IGL.
Yeah, exactly. I think she had like a number of, I can't remember the exact number, but a number of Sky assists as
Yeah,
well.
like 20 plus in that map. It was absurd.
Exactly. She is crazy. And not to mention, okay, we mentioned how like Daiki is an amazing IGL, and she's like an emotional leader too. She really like ramps up the rest of her team. Vanya, though, who she will be up against, this is such a good head-to-head IGL matchup, by the way, because Vanya is also somebody who goes above and beyond for her team, because she's also such a diverse player, and it literally comes out in her playstyle, Sapphire, whether it's like clutch, entry, or just holding a site.
Yeah, Vanya really can do it all, as well as just being this incredible leader. Like, always keeps her composure too. You can tell she never necessarily gets frustrated. She's actually very cold, just very like low-key mediocre, like doesn't show any like hints either way how she's feeling. But yeah, as we saw in those stats there, like Vanya's just a little behind where we think she could be, but we know what we saw from online play. She is one of the best players in the world.
Yeah, and we were also hyped to see BBL take on Shopify Rebellion, right? And they only got, unfortunately, 7 rounds, Baby Bay. 7 rounds total. What do they need to do to come back?
Yeah, that was brutal. And listen, they're no stranger to playing with difficulties all year. They had ups and downs this entire time, so I'm not counting them out by any means. But I do think that's this momentum that Liquid has, coming off of a win, and especially playing from the home crowd, I think this is going to be a really, really tough test for BBL, and we are going to need to see the Vanya that we saw online throughout the year, because during this whole tournament, she's had moments of greatness, but she's not quite taking over how she has.
Not to mention, BBL here, we've been wondering as well how they would perform on LAN, right? This is their first big international event, and I was chatting with Felipa earlier, and she mentioned that there's a lot of things that they're adjusting to, things like even the crowd is a factor, right? It's their first international LAN event, and it just feels like since the very beginning, BBL has drawn the shortest straw here, and there's just a series of unfortunate events that's been following them around.
Yeah, they've had some tough matchups here, especially on what you'd maybe call like the home field advantage when you play on Ascent. It's always called the Turkish Ascent and the Turkish Jet. We usually expect a great performance from the team on that, as well as Haven, but that's not where they found success so far in this tournament. So obviously, you know, they have so much experience there. We know they play those maps very well. They play them very aggressive, intelligently, so hopefully we're seeing more of that today.
Yeah, I think it's just a big factor of this is a major LAN, and this is a lot of pressure that gets put onto you. And let's not forget that they have players that are being sick. They're not all together, and they're used to being an entire unit, an entire squad who's always with one another. So I think that does play a factor into how they're performing and kind of like throwing them off their game a little bit.
And as a matter of fact, we have Felipa over here. So let's send it back to Janiro and get a quick word from BBL's Felipa.
Hi, Felipa. Thank you so much for taking the time and joining me. We're going to have to address the elephant in the room here. You guys have spoken so many times about how you're a family, you go through so much together. You're here going through this LAN experience together. However, you're here all by yourself, so what is your motivation to just keep going, keep fighting?
At least they're together in the room, 4 of them. I'm going to be alone, I know, and the audience belongs to the enemy team, I know. It's going to be like, I'm going to be under pressure for sure, but it's another challenge for me, and we're going to see, like, I'm going to deal with it somehow.
I believe in you. Thank you so much for your time, and good luck out there.
You just got a feel for her, right? She will be the lone player on that stage, Sapphire, and it just feels like against a home crowd as well.
That's it's just brutal. I've done that. I've played against home crowd teams in enemy territory before, but I had my teammates with me, you know? You're out there all on your own, but you know, she is like, she has a good mindset. Like every time we hear her speak, like she's very positive and not getting too down on herself. So, you know, Felipa, despite not being the IGL, is gonna have to be a leader here for the team.
Yeah, you could tell she's very strong-minded, but this is something that I hope never happens to me ever.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what I would do if I'm the only player on that stage against all 5 of Team Liquid at their home crowd. I just feel like I would be, I don't know, I'd be lost. I'd be like, wow, what is going on? And not even with my teammates, I can't look at anybody. Who do I dab up?
We heard the crowd too, right? We heard the crowd. We heard how insane they are, and it can be so intimidating. This is their first LAN again, and Felipa has to deal with all of this. I feel so stressed for her right now. But I did get a chat with her earlier today, right? And she actually just said, well, this is what we have to do. We're gonna do it. And it's like massive respect to that, because that's competition, right? You have to do what you have to do. And she did mention that, like, hey, it might be a little bit better because now you have 4 on the other side and they're playing together. So it's kind of like she's the one in isolation in a way.
Honestly, that's an argument you could have too, and we've seen it for the last couple of years of where when players have to play in isolation, sometimes they play even better because like you get a little more of that comfort level. You don't have the cameras, the lights, you know, the crowd, and so you know maybe the other side you have 4 players in that situation. Maybe they'll be better in their comfort zone, especially because they have played so well online.
Yeah, it's funny because now the player that's isolated is Felipa, and it's like, wow, how did we get here? Like, this is so crazy that this is the scenario, but you can't do anything about it. You just got to roll with the punches and really do your best, and this is a big moment for her to continue being that anchor and to continue stepping up for her team, because I mean, I'm sure her team knows that like this is something that is going to be hard on her for sure.
And I know that the spotlight is literally right now on Felipa, but we have to talk about the other players on BBL as well. Ava, for example, has been such a great player. She's one of my favorites because she seems to be one of these players, Sapphire, where it's like a 3K or a 4K per round just isn't news to her.
It's not at all. I am also a huge fan of Ava now. Obviously, coming into this event, Vanya and Wen's got a lot of attention, but Ava has been a rock for this player. When you look at the stats for the tournament, like she is at the top of nearly every single category. Like you said, so many multi-kill rounds as well, and just always seeking out aggressive plays for her team.
Yeah, she had some incredible flicks, by the way, Baby Bay. On this stage, she has enormous potential.
Eva's been crazy this entire series, this entire tournament, honestly. And she was really kind of the only signs of life, even in the other series that they played against Shopify, which was kind of hard because they didn't win a lot of rounds. But she has some of the best clutches that I think I've seen. She was owning in against Crew the first day that they played, and she's going to need to step up big further in this tournament and keep winning those 1v1s and really, you know, change those rounds around.
Definitely. There's a lot of very interesting sort of like matchups that we have here in this series, right? And again, these are two teams that I didn't think would be up for elimination today. This could have easily have been our grand finals. And so it's absolutely crazy that we're seeing this right now. I think that, you know, for example, you have Daiki versus Vanya, and then you have Ava on the other side, and then you have somebody like Bastarda. It's very exciting indeed. But Daiki and Team Liquid are making a second international run here in São Paulo, and Ender sat down with the IGL for a look back at what this experience means to her.
I saw that you were often speaking with players from other teams. So is there anyone you're excited to see come back now to Brazil this time?
I love Mel, and I talk a lot with Mel last year, and even before the Game Changers Championship. And the two girls, it's very special to me. They are very kind, and I love to see them come back here, and now in my home ground. It's very, very special.
I saw when you went to when you went to Berlin, you got to see snow with the team. I was showing you the clip from earlier. How fun was that for you, I guess, to go to a new city and experience that?
A gente tinha acabado de perder e tava sendo um momento bem difícil pra gente. Eu particularmente tava abalada, e quando a gente viu a neve, eu acho que a gente conseguiu esquecer um pouco desse sentimento ruim que a gente estava sentindo, e a gente conseguiu aproveitar, e eu acho que é por causa disso que a neve em si traz uma memória, uma tranquilidade, uma paz para dentro de mim.
So overall, we were in a position that we just had lost, and like perhaps that's one of the reasons that snow for me like got to have this like special meaning that brings me like a tranquility, because after all, we had a chance to like just forget about that moment and just enjoy as a group like that moment that we were all sharing of like seeing the snow like together, and we just like got to be like in a very like joyful moment.
Amazing. Well, best of luck to you in the tournament, and thanks for taking the time.
Thank you.
That is so beautiful. I've never seen snow.
You've never seen snow?
I've never seen snow.
Are you serious?
Legit. I've never seen snow. I saw
possible?
like ice, so I don't count it. It was like melting already. So like, yeah, but I've never seen snow. Maybe that will have the same effect on me.
Honestly, it's not that great, but it was great for them clearly. And I mean, honestly, seeing something for the first time like snow, it can be very beautiful, and I mean that's why it got their mind off of, you know, losing like they did. And that's awesome that they're able to take something out of such like a down situation, because we're all competitive, like especially like me and you know, we've competed tons and tons of times before. When you lose, it is the worst feeling ever, and you're like, wow, like I wish I could just do it again. You're thinking about all the rounds you messed up, or things you could have called differently and stuff like that, shots you could have hit, and to just get your mind off of that and, you know, have a positive outcome from a loss is just a good way to move forward as a team and a human.
That is so beautiful. I am so inspired right now. You know, I gotta go and experience something new for the first time. This is
check out some snow.
Let's check out some snow right after doing this. This is my first thing for the day. And before we jump into our maps, you know, I think that right now everybody's expecting possibly an Ascent, possibly a Haven over here. I don't think these teams are probably gonna stray too much from what they already know, especially since we saw that BBL, you know, they have a very strong, steady, and stable map pool. They don't tend to do anything out there.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's a map. Those maps are ones that, again, they are known for historically. Some of them have been winning it for the last like 6-7 months. I don't expect many surprises here as we look at the map, Vito.
Yeah, I'm expecting, you know, potentially maybe a Haven and Ascent. Very, very strong for BBL unless there are bans coming in there. Same for Liquid though, although I do know that they do have a bind in there, and they do have a very strong split as well, BBB.
Yeah, I think in general in this matchup, what I realized was I think BBL might be a little bit behind with some of the comps that they run on these maps, and I think it'll come back to haunt them later on in this tournament, or even just now in this tournament. And we saw that against Shopify, right? We saw the Haven comp that BBL was running just get dismantled by the double controller. And I'm pretty sure Team Liquid is a pretty ahead of the meta. Like, they run these new comps. A lot of these comps that are played, especially the double controller comps, were originated from Brazilian teams. So I think they're going to have the advantage overall in the series with comps on almost any map they play. Obviously, Ascent is a map that's very standard and it's very strong for BBL, and BBL is going to look to, like, you know, reclaim their throne as the kings of Ascent if that map goes through, because the performance they had against Shopify, that was really lackluster.
Yeah, they're definitely looking for redemption. But first, let's hear from what Sapphire and I were talking about earlier, one of definitely the gatekeepers of Team Liquid. Let's hear from Team Liquid's Georgina and learn what it's like to have the hometown hero buff on stage.
Eu acho que foi muito mental da nossa parte, eu acho que a nossa confiança estava muito acima da delas e a nossa GL é muito diff. Eu tô muito feliz, estou muito confiante, deu um boost na gente e a gente consegue mostrar, vai conseguir mostrar porque que a gente veio. Eu acho que eu deixo as minhas meninas muito tranquilas no bomb que eu tô e eu acho que eu dou confiança pra elas de que se eu tiver no clutch eu vou ganhar.
Still smokes for Georgina, and it's going to be a stick here for Bizarro. Only one player has the potential to spam.
Oh no.
And Thea's on the swing. Scary Shark, where is she? It's all Georgina!
É muito gostoso a gente entrar e ter a torcida inteira gritando pra gente, mas na hora que a gente coloca o fone e coloca o intro, é só a gente e o jogo. E também é muito gostoso quando a gente tira o fone e a gente escuta toda a torcida torcendo pela gente, gritando. Tem uma frase certinha que eles gritam que é: eu sou brasileiro. E eles cantaram isso pra gente no final e foi muito gostoso. Eu quero agradecer muito a torcida de vocês, muito rap de vocês e continue confiando na gente, que a gente ainda tem muito pra mostrar.
Oh, I always wondered what they were saying, or I always wondered what it meant. Thanks for that, Georgina. But yeah, that hometown crowd buff, particularly here in Brazil, is insane because like that crowd. I mean, I was doing interviews there, right? You really cannot hear yourself.
Yeah, the crowd has been absolutely insane, and I said this earlier on the analyst desk. But like when I was there, the energy was so crazy, and you know what I mean, like. Thankfully, like, it wasn't a Brazilian team that was playing when I was watching, and they were cheering for everybody. But now that it's a Brazilian team, they're going to cheer for Brazil. And poor Felipa, again, I gotta go back to this, but she's gonna be hearing all these chants, and I don't think she's gonna be getting any praise at all. I just feel so bad still.
I am so stressed for her. I have to reiterate. I feel so stressed for her, but as we mentioned earlier, she is definitely gonna take it like a champ indeed. And even if she has to stand alone there to represent her team, she will do just that. So it is now time to dive into the map veto, so let's send it over to our coaches.
So, okay, we're starting map selection process for BBL versus TL. This is a match for the lower bracket, round 2. BBL has the higher seed and starts choosing if wants to be Team A or Team B.
Team B.
Team B, okay. So Team Liquid will be Team A. TL starts banning a map.
Ban Breezy.
Breeze, okay. Ban for BBL.
Ban Bind.
Bind. First pick for TL.
Pick Ascent.
Ascent. Side on Ascent for BBL.
Defense.
Defense. Map pick for BBL.
Heaven.
Haven. Side on Haven for TL.
Attack.
Attack. Second sets of bans. TL starts banning a map. You have Lotus, Sunset, and Split.
Ban Sunset.
Sunset. Last ban for BBL. You have Lotus or Split.
Ban Lotus.
Lotus. Yes. Okay. So Split is the decider. Side on Split for TL.
Attack.
Attack. Okay, that's it. Good luck, have fun.
A matchup you wouldn't believe is in the lower bracket, and an elimination match at that. As we said earlier, this could have been our grand final, and Baby Bay Sapphire, we are seeing this here right now as our elimination match for this day. What is going on here?
And like Liquid picking Ascent into BBL, they're choosing to play Ascent against BBL. Trying to make a statement for sure. What do you think, Sapphire?
I mean, it's a bold choice. They did take down EG on that pretty comfortably, and maybe they looked at what happened with BBL against Shopify, losing 3-13 on Turkish Ascent, and said, you know what? If Shopify can do it, we can too.
It's just so crazy here because these maps that we have here, I would say like all of them, both these teams perform admirably on all of them, right? So right now, I'm not, just based on the maps, I'm not exactly sure which way this is going to go, but again, you see the crowd that you have in front of your screens right now, and you just have to say that that emotional sort of like uplifting buff that they have for Team Liquid, that's definitely going to play into this series right now.
Yeah, you gotta think so, but at the same time, like, it can also be a debuff in the sense of like, you don't want to disappoint that crowd, and you don't want to be the one that loses to just one player on stage.
Exactly, and right now, as you're seeing with our Prime Gaming Agent Select, it looks like we're not seeing any surprises. We're all keeping it safe here, and it is a mirror matchup.
Yeah, pretty standard across the board, but the good thing to note here is that BBL gets to start on defense, and I think that this is like prime, this is what you want on Ascent. You usually always want to start defense because it's so hard as an attacker when you're just getting in here. No one's warmed up yet fully. We don't know for sure, but usually when you first start off, you're not that warmed up. It's kind of hard to get stuff going on that map and string rounds together, you know?
Yeah, and then on Team Liquid's side, like, no surprises here, but Daiki is a big impact player on that Sova, taking a ton of mid control.
The maps have been picked, the agents are locked in, so let's get this started and send it over to your casters for this one. It's Mimi and Ender.
Thanks very much to Mika and the Des. We may be in Brazil. This may be the stage that is home for Team Liquid. But Christy, we are starting where BBL is comfortable. The Turkish map, Ascent, a map that defined their year, and it's their chance to stay alive here in São Paulo.
A map that they have always dominated. And also, they're playing with just Felipa out there, 1 versus 5 on the stage. The rest of the team from the back rooms, but that's where they dominated Europe from. Not on a land like Team Liquid here in Brazil. It is going to be a battle to the death here on Ascent.
It absolutely will. It's Turkey versus Brazil, 2 of the most passionate communities we have here in Valorant. 2 teams that you could have seen in the final, but only one of them can continue in São Paulo.
To see one drop out so early, an absolute shocker. But we'll see what the teams have in store for us now. BBL starting out on the defense, but they look to attack you very early. Alkia will go flying at you aggressively, and it's going to be a battle over Cat.
One of the fastest teams in the tournament, no matter the side, and Alkia will make first contact, has to push away the paranoia. Goodbye, Vanya, but Alkia's gone, and the trade is there out of Bastarda, so A site open for business as long as they can contend with Felipa, and she's going to get overwhelmed here, just jumping and diving around the corner. It's Daiki, and maybe going a bit too far, because Felipa finds 2 somehow, but Bastarda is back in control, and it's only Wenz who's going to try and get ahead of this one. Will swing out on towards Heaven, recover a Sheriff, and find this 1v2.
Spike planted.
19 HP on Bastarda. Wenz has a turret to deal with, 2 players behind Generator.
Can she find a fight? No. Issa takes her down, and Team Liquid start with a pistol.
I mean, what a start, right? Battle of the Jets, get ready for it all map long. Bastarda kicking it off with the 3K on the entry, takes down the opposition in Alkia, and that's going to be a really important point of focus, I think, throughout this map, is the battle over tree. BBL like to get very aggressive down catwalk, not just with an operator peeking out or taking a fight, but Alkia too will just go running up catwalk and looking for fights nonstop.
Both these teams will do that at times. Team Liquid is also one who loves to get proactive, test you, especially when they're on that defense. So these early engagements, expect them to be really the make or break of this series.
Yeah, it's all about those early ego fights. TL fighting on both sides of the map, BBL running you down already with that early tile smoke from BBL, threatening that they took a lot of mid space. This is going to bait out the drone from Team Liquid, which won't actually run into anything, because during all of that, while BBL feint a little pressure in mid, they're stacking 3 players very back deep on that B site.
but Team Liquid might head this way still. You see Daiki starting to re-clear space in B main.
The first player they're going to run into is Alkia. After that, there's double flashbangs from backside on Felipa. And that'll be very unexpected for Team Liquid to run into here. If Alkia can get one, that would be a huge boon, but no, Bastarda takes her down with ease.
She's so good on these entries. Door will be closed, and now it's a question of how much can get done from these two players in the back lines, and they'll both get spotted off by that knife. Molly to isolate them further, and Team Liquid just taking their time. Bizarra will contend with the first, and they've made sure to stay in control of this one. Not a player dropped, as that spike will come down, and well, Wens can get a little bit of damage. It's only one.
Yeah, I mean, that'll mean knives for Bastarda in round 3, which is a big, big win for Team Liquid. And while, look, they do love to take those ego fights. You've seen how crisp their aim is. This team's utility is impeccable. Daiki scouting with the Sova is absolutely on point, was dominating on both the Sky and the Sova yesterday, but also there, Bizarra using the knife to make sure they realize two players in backside, and those two flashes are not going to mean anything.
Team Liquid have already shown excellent prep throughout this tournament. You would expect them to be ready for the fast-paced aggression that BBL always shows on Ascent.
Team Liquid coming into this round, just one off those knives for Bastarda. Looking like they want to play into B main to pick that one up early. Unlike that, you have a real chance to win this round, but it's a trap play set up from BBL. Wens gets the kill off the Paranoia, and they can retreat, fall back. No knives for TL.
Yeah, beautifully done. They know how close Bastarda is to that ultimate, and they make sure they shut it down.
And you've got to be ready for this as Team Liquid, because BBL have more plays at round start than any other team on Ascent, and it gets aggressive, it gets fast. You're going to see bloodbaths in the first 10 seconds of almost every round.
So now, Team Liquid trying to find a second option. They'll explore towards mid with that alarm bot being taken down. They open up possibilities to split into B, but with no one in main, we're just exploring for a pick and actually look to finish this one back towards A.
Yeah, they want to lean back into Georgina. She has the Guardian over in main and has a Paranoia too to send into tree.
That she does. Vanya smoked off on this Lion, but she has an angle up above. However, no one will walk into her line of fire, so it falls instead to the Jet on site. Alkia, one kill found, dash procs, but not ready in time, and Georgina continuing what we saw from her yesterday.
How good was she yesterday? 2 bullets for the 3K. Here again, getting onto the site. Down in numbers still. And only a Spectre on Bizarra, but watch the flank from Wens. She has a chance to bust this round down.
Felipa going a little too far, a little too early. And now look at Georgina. She's ready for this one. Spots out Wens. The player in heaven has a fight of their own, and Georgina, her target is Wens. If that Killjoy is trapped in main, there's no way BBL can make this round happen, especially as Vanya falls. There's only one left, and while the Guardian can't find the shot, was it enough? Bizarra in the 1v1 time, working in her favor, and the movement is perfection.
That is not the way BBL wanted to start Ascent. A true bonus for Team Liquid, even down, losing Bastarda at the start of the round. It's a 4 versus 5, but Georgina jumping into the site with the teleport, and then the Guardian play from her. She is finding so many heads. It's so impressive.
It's funny because you look at this match and you expect BBL to be the team whose individual plays, whose clutches keep them in it. But from what we've seen from Team Liquid thus far, they have that exact same star power, especially with the new additions into the team this year. Players like Georgina have just been electric.
This isn't even seeing them over on defense. I think that's where they were especially shining yesterday. Quick breather, though, for BBL and Team Liquid both, as we have a bit of a technical pause to work ourselves on through. Reminder that 4 of those BBL players are playing from a quarantine room in this, so it's just a different game, I think, when you can see or not see the player sitting next to you, Felipa out on that stage. They're going to have to dig exceptionally deep in today's game and in the series as well to find that motivation, especially when things go tough.
And it's just a quick tech pause here for gear on the stage. It's already being worked on. And I mean, we talk about where these players are set up, but the stage is where Team Liquid is comfortable. It's the exact same seats that they qualified to championship from.
Team Liquid as well. I mean, just looking around the stands too. Standing ovations, of course, but we also saw that so many of their families are just in the audience today. Georgina, Daiki, the family coming out in force here to support their girls.
Yeah, it really is that family affair, right? Because normally when you look at these international competitions, for Brazil, it's pretty much a 10-hour flight, no matter where you're going. Even in VCT Americas, Brazil flying away, having to compete in another country. But this is their event. This is really, I think, the best chance, the best opportunity for Team Liquid to lift a trophy that they have been after for so long in Game Changers. Remember, this is the same core that was like Game Landers Purple right at the very beginning of Valorant and Game Changers. Daiki and Bastarda as a duo have been at this for literal years.
Yeah, the grind for them has been absolutely nonstop. A heartbreaker to not even make it to the finals last year in Berlin. And then when you look at, you know, other areas of VCT, right, Loud dropping at the final hurdle during lock-in. Now they have the chance to make that full lower bracket run and bring that trophy home.
And when we talk about how invested in Valorant both the Brazilian and Turkish scenes are, you also have to remember that we have never seen a full Brazilian or full Turkish team lift a trophy. Sure, Alphayear's done it, but in Game Changers here, it has not happened. So getting to have that first opportunity for really either of these regions, but especially for Brazil in São Paulo, would be massive.
Yeah, it would be amazing to see here. I think also for BBL, that was amazing for them to win out EMEA as that full-on roster.
And it was really living up to what we knew they could do. They started the year with a new roster, upsetting the Queens. G2 came home and they got beaten. But then BBL couldn't win a Game Changers. They couldn't close it out. And it takes until the very last one of the year. They win it and they make it here to São Paulo.
It was so weird because you saw the promise of this roster initially, right? With those big wins you say, but then faltering in the finals of stage 1, not even making it back in stage number 2. But it was so impressive the run they went on in stage 3, and they do have to live back up to that, but it's not going to be easy, right? You know, Shopify Rebellion, of course, incredible competition to knock them down to this stage, but that's what you're sort of going up against. Both these teams looking at either a potential rematch versus G2 goes and against Shopify Rebellion, even past this. This is the first step of a very long road.
And remember what it's going to take. It is literally playing every single day from here on out. And that's already been the case for these players, right?
Yeah.
They've already been on that road.
So they played yesterday, best of 3. They play a best of 3 today. Let's assume you keep on winning. That's 2 BO3s tomorrow, and then a BO5 final up against a G2 or a Shopify.
Ridiculous amount of
Good
Valorant.
luck. I would be exhausted.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just what you have to do. Remember as well, for BBL, we were watching some of their content. It is so far to come to play here. For some of their players, it was their first time leaving Turkey, going international, right?
Yeah, Alki was literally saying that she had never been to an airport before.
Yeah,
and then
never
she's
even
hopping on.
stepped foot on a plane. First flight, 14 hours.
Yeah,
I did that same
you
flight
just
to
did
get
that
here.
flight.
Wasn't fun.
Did you have a layover? Like, what's the
It's direct.
Okay, direct all the way but 14 hours. I don't know. That's a lot of VODs you can watch to prepare.
True. Also for such young players, right? Being away from home for that long in an unfamiliar place, playing on a new stage in front of a crowd, it's all so unfamiliar. Really, preparing to play on LAN in a completely foreign place is a new skill that is BBL has to develop right now in just these few days.
It's a shock to the senses, and you would say that, hey, the best thing for them is that they've been playing together all year, right? Playing out of the same house, just watching them as well, the support of the fans at home. You would see watch parties of their games throughout GC, throughout the year. I'm sure there's thousands of fans back home cheering them on.
Hey, but the synergy is ridiculous for BBL because of that. These girls have all been living together for the last year in the same house, hanging out each and every day, practicing, preparing. Like, that's what it takes to go into a situation like this and thrive. You need that relationship.
And yet now they're not in the same room, and that's tough.
That's brutal.
That is tough. They're going to work on through that. The tech pause is over, though. We're back into game. Doesn't look like BBL want to get aggro super quick, and just to catch you up to speed, it is 5 Sheriffs. The Sheriffs are deadly, though, Mimi.
They are. We have seen BBL steal rounds like this before. But into the site goes Team Liquid, and Bizera starts for the opener. Wens finds a kill in the swing. Heaven is good to at least trade even. Now it comes back to a retake.
Pretty far off for BBL to farm up those orbs, whereas Team Liquid just one off. Actually, but Bizera gets that with the spike. It's a big deal for them. Team Liquid are going to look to chain this into another round. And one thing to keep in mind whenever you watch a BBL game is they are heavy armor enthusiasts. You know, when they have a chance to go for a full buy, they go for it. And what it means for them is they don't get to chain together successive buy rounds. When you go for the light armor, that really bolsters your economy up so you can buy 3-4 times in a row, even after consecutive round losses. That is not the case for BBL. So this upcoming round 5 is a swing round. Lose this, and the round after that, you also can't get a purchase.
And what a start to this map that Bastarda has had. She's had a great tournament already, but for the one Chilean member of this Brazilian team who has really been here since the beginning, getting that confidence up, which we've talked about being so important in this head-to-head, is great to see.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, just looking at things too, once we get over to the other side, Bastarda's operator was absolutely on point.
She ripped EG apart.
Her entries as well. That's the thing is Bastarda has such great support, I think, from her backline too. Daiki and Bizarra cannot be underappreciated when it comes to that utility to set her up.
Okay, tack timeout now for BBL Queens. It's a rough start to this map. This is their chance to rust the fall.
Yeah, right now I'm doing mostly ultimate economy map because look, you lost one real rifle round.
True.
And just looking at ultimates here, you have the null command coming in from Bizarra. You're one off for Wenz and Felipa. I think that's going to be a big deal for BBL and for both teams, is playing Extremity and playing main control this round to look for ult orbs.
On the other side, though, Team Liquid have their own null command in this round, can just nullify getting those ult orbs if they just pound a fast hit with it.
Yeah, that's the thing, too, is BBL don't really, on defense, it's really hard to go out on Ascent and farm orbs because they're both so extended.
Yeah.
So it is a big advantage. Even though BBL are close, more likely you see those ults come online in a retake situation.
This is going to be a big swing round, though, for BBL to get their feet under them. And they're set up for something aggressive in mid. Might be a bit of a shark attack with that paranoia coming through B main, a flash over the top.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me, that paranoia to push all the players into Alkia. This is what BBL are known for, exploding right off the rip at you.
And Team Liquid is right in the crosshair. 4 players in B main. Blind is through there. Push back. Here comes Alkia. Up and over the top, finds one, but it's only one. Her teammates, though, are successful, and now they can pull back with a player advantage.
Felipa could look for more. She's posted down bottom mid, and at the same time, got that kill at top mid, right? So now there's not that lurk. You have Wenz that's pushing out of A main. These 2 players are completely trapped from TL.
And they have absolutely no map control to work with. Every single inch they have to re-clear, and they're even suspicious of BBL still hunkering down in B main.
Feels like Team Liquid almost forgot a bit of the prep coming in against BBL. They are so known for this in the EMEA circuit. And coming out of a timeout, you better be prepared for that main fight. We'll see, though, because Bizarra and Issa are going to be looking to farm for a couple of shots here. Take those passive lines, though. Ava not really getting anything. Is just going to swing off of Vanya's contact. There she is, and she's so good with it.
Double for Eva, and BBL find themselves on the board. And crucially, they don't have to use any of the big ults in that round, so they have stuff to keep this momentum going.
It's those opening gambits BBL will continue to look for. But what happens when you go for opening gambits as well, if Team Liquid are postured over on the A side, they just have a site pretty much for free. You've wasted a lot of utility, so it is a little bit flippy in that sense.
And if you remember yesterday, TL's biggest key to success was their fast adaptation. Daiki as a leader is really good at finding that answer quickly.
I mean, just look at the difference here. Stepping out of that lane so the paranoia won't hit them. It's that 3-prong anti-shark attack approach, which BBL are just running back. This time, though, they can just take that down, but Issa is waiting. This is exactly what they needed to adapt.
That adaptation, it's so instantaneous. 1 round loss, and Team Liquid regain control.
BBL also lost a little bit on the map. No mid control for themselves. That's what it looks like Alki and Vanya want to group up to play for. At the same time, teleporting across into A main to break the crossfire, get the orb into Daiki's hands. She's just 2 off now.
And she'll drone into this A site. It's a good setup for BBL too here, but look, it's all a fake. Spike's going the other way.
Nobody's home on that B site. Alkia might be able to get over to market and take a shot, but Bastarda's going to dive on in there, close the door. She's not looking at it though, and Alkia gets a big kill to supplement the retake.
And look who's in back site, Vanya. She's always so good for this team, but she just eats the flash.
Georgina.
And is taken down. This is a huge position now. 2 players coming close through CT. BBL clears it. That is a massive frag for Wenz to find.
BBL have to, oh no, they have to be able to break this. Zara sends out that fragment.
And that's not enough. You need another piece of utility, and nothing is to come. So everyone forced into the very back lines, but Daiki, huge spot here in main. Alkia's just not looking. She had to run out of the lockdown, and the punishment is there. TL, excellent conversion on the post plant.
Even heating up a few of those critical ultimates from BBL. It's the exact adaptation. BBL run the same exact play, but TL are ready for it this time. And look at it, once again, money not in a good state for BBL. They will be able to work around this because of those knives. But it's just swing round after swing round from them, whereas Team Liquid are going to be able to buy out for the rest of the half.
Team Liquid always spends a portion of their year boot camping over in Europe. They're exposed to a lot of different styles of play. For BBL, this is their first time away from home, and finding a team who adapts like Team Liquid, it's going to keep them on their toes.
Look at this, Alkia going straight up cat. This is a classic, and the paranoia means you can't see anything but close range. Oh no, Bastarda, Bazera both get openers. BBL crumble.
Oh no, the play's falling apart. Same story as last round. BBL suffering from a deficit of players off the rip, and it's desperation. I was going to try and take a fight in mid, but he's there to control it, not for long. Vanya, that's a big frag to find.
No flashes available to try and escape from that tree smoke,
Look how
though.
far Bastarda is. She
no.
might have taken this one a bridge too far, because Vanya has taken her down, and somehow BBL are now back into this round 3v3.
2 players off in main, and a smoke for Vanya means they can isolate Bazera back in hell.
Oh, and Bazera's just going to get spammed. That is a great drone. The leader is doing everything right now.
2 shock darts on Daiki, paranoia on Georgina. Once this smoke drops, they're going to fight back in.
First tap, here comes that paranoia. But no one's fighting forward. Smoke is now down. They have to get Vanya off that spike. She's holding it all the way through. Vanya just holds a button, and BBL wins the round.
Simple as that. Another day at the office there. Shout out to Wenz on the nano swarm. There was a very deep nano, so it made it really hard to fully swing into the angle and see the spike. The timing on the smoke dropping was good, but that nano was another layer that TL were not ready for.
The start of that round, again, was 2 players dying on the set play. That's the resiliency that BBL has.
This early dive is a signature of BBL. Surprising it did not work, but there you have it. Vanya finding that kill and then off the ping. I think in the post plant, Team Liquid might need to be a little bit more together. They've been separated,
Here they go again.
Good lord.
So fast out of BBL. Same shark attack we saw before, this time with a Sobalt. I'm not sure if that tag
Look
connected.
at Wine. Wenz is in 1 and looking for the fight.
Whoa, could have been something more. Only 1 kill picked on up. I don't know how Team Liquid keep on dodging each and every one of these bullets. They're looking like Keanu Reeves out there.
Living in the Matrix. There's not a chance to breathe for BBL. No reset, no nothing. They're looking for the fight and 2 players on the flank.
This is the next punch from BBL. And Daiki, does she have the timing? Smoke forward. Daiki has a shorty and she spots out Vanya, but doesn't win it. Vanya keeps getting away with magic. But look at Isa. She's still here. Will get mated out, but she has space to play with, and no one is looking at her on BBL. Felipa looks away at just the wrong moment. And it's even out in a 1v2. Both players tucked towards hell. A double setup should be improbable to break, and well, she can get the first. Georgina's got the trade.
I'd like to invite you all to never discount a single player versus 2, 3, 4 on the other team. Both teams are incredibly stacked with late round clutch players with the dirtiest aimers we've got here. There's always a moment, but this time around, the trade is good enough from Georgina through that wall.
Just a reminder, BBL's actually playing on defense right now.
Yeah, you might be shocked. And I
certainly was.
It's never gonna slow down because it's another A main rip here. This time, high flash, paranoia also going down.
Here they go again, and you see Team Liquid is ready to absorb that aggression.
Yeah, here's though where things become a little bit of a problem because you overinvest into A. Team Liquid aren't actually snapping into B so quickly. Right now it's just Wenz here. The Vanya will soon arrive, and as the stack comes in, it makes this gamble not so bad for BBL.
No, it doesn't. 3 players posted up. Team Liquid taking their sweet time on committing. Actually gonna cancel.
They want the reset. Honestly, catching BBL off their toes, because you'd imagine BBL are either sprinting through on the flank, but Georgina knows that A main push hasn't fully come in yet. So now, as TL, you're imagining BBL are kind of ping-ponging between the 2 sites. They think they guessed wrong on A, so they come B, but then there's no B hit. So what are they doing?
And this is just a Team Liquid classic. They love calling these rounds where they early take space, super aggressive, force you to go crazy with your rotations, and just pause for like 40 seconds.
And TL have done nothing, right? Like, they can relax, take a deep breath. BBL are freaking out the entire time. Georgina, if she finds an opener over here, BBL, their ankles will be snapped.
She's just waltzing out onto the site. Let's see if that pulls rotations. You see the Jet is leaving already. This should give an opportunity to get into B. Ult committed. There's player position in logs, but the shots aren't landing for Wenz. And now Vanya has only a classic to try and deal with Bastarda, and she's able to do that.
Spike gets into the site, but the two teammates are nowhere to be found. Daiki has to do something, and Ava gets a critical kill.
Look at where
10 seconds, there's no time.
She's nowhere near Bizarra, and she needs to get the spike down right here, right now. Flash there to support, swing out from Bizarra. She needs to win both sides, and Vanya just has to live. She runs for the hills and runs away with a round.
What a chaotic round. No plan to even come in at the end, and the problem there comes from Team Liquid expediting that push without smokes coming in. Because Georgina goes into that engagement on the other side of the map with Ava, there's no CT smoke, there's no market smoke, so players are flooding out from BBL on that retake. And while TL trades out most of them, they're too isolated. That Sove ult keeps Daiki so far away from the rest of the team. It was a 3-on-4 entry at TL faltering.
Big MasterCard thrifty there for BBL. After a very difficult start to this half. Finally, a moment of pause. BBL not going for any shenanigans early, just taking some control in EMEA.
A lot of mid control. It's Team Liquid's chance to switch the pace and blitz on into market. Way faster than anything we've seen from them so far.
They've broken this alarm bot pretty often with shock darts, with pressure, but they've never entrenched someone pizza.
But freeze. Team Liquid. There's no rush. They take the space, they love to fight for early space, and then they can poke, they can prod, they can look for the knives, but Ava gets the kill to give BBL the advantage.
So where do they go now? The rest of these players don't have the best of weaponry. They have to clear out EMEA. If they just go straight through Catwalk, it's a death trap. Paranoia in. Here comes the push from the tree room. There's no smoke to block this one off just yet, so they run straight into Vanya. She misses out on one, but should have done enough because Alkia still is in main. But look at the
going
diversion.
heaven. Iza's looking for a kill. There's 45 seconds. If they can kill these two players in spawn, it changes everything.
This is a big fight to win. And Eva's just not looking. Wenz will run. She'll have to hide. If she can get to B, if she can beat them out, she has a chance to win this round.
She's just frozen in market here. Maybe even wrapping back to B main. Where do the other two teammates choose to go? It'll be all three. They're full retaking through main. We've switched from sides completely, Mimi.
Post-plant for Team Liquid. Bizarra is wounded, but they are committing the lockdown.
They're pushing.
Isa thinks she can win this. And she whiffs out. Bizarra only has 5 health. So many players up against her, but she finds 2. Bizarra! Surely there's not a shot of this. And there isn't. Felipa saves the day.
I just don't believe it. There is always a chance in the late rounds. These two teams are so similar in so many ways. The raw talent between the 10 players you see on your screen right now, incredible. The clutch factor at the end of rounds, the superstar duelist power, even the monstrous fragging IGLs. Off to a slow start today, but Vanya and Daiki are just absolute shooting machines. And they've got the brains to back it up too.
She got that so damn close. Oh. But it's not a moment today for Team Liquid. They do still have guns. And they have a null command. The pace is staying high. Everyone primed up in B main. Here comes that ult. And Bastarda, you know she's gonna follow. Dash up and over into the site. Both players will hunker down in the backlines, and Vanya look to join, but now has to cancel that one on out, so it's only 2. Eva and Wenz is executed. Eva, can she do something more? Finds 1 kill already and is trying to dance her way into another opportunity. But he's
Georgina's up in A heaven. She's on A every single round. Vanya will take her down, but it's a 2-on-3 for the retake, and Daiki's prowling in main.
They'll enter the site. Alkia makes a sound.
Daiki.
Does Daiki activate? She has the perfect angle, and Alkia is gone. Vanya in a 1v2, but she's won these before. But this time, Isa blindsides her. So Team Liquid they take some of their own pace, and they claim their 7th.
Yes, they do. I mean, Georgina is feeling the energy. You can see some of these crazy lurks through A. That round, the ultimate just sending her into heaven, while BBL are trying to initiate a retake. You just lose track of what's happening on a map when things are happening so fast. The communication, how quickly you have to say, you know, where is that Omen? Do we know where she is? We don't turn around. It's full-on chaos, and that is where Georgina thrives.
Last round of the half, and the buy ain't great for BBL. But it's the same play again. Alkia just runs it down catwalk.
And now the rest of Team Liquid, they've got a blitz in tape. There's still 2 players waiting for it. Georgina gets the opener, quick to fall to Ava.
Eva on the site, still alive in this one. Her drone spotted. That wide swing is disgusting. How does she get 3? And how's Vanya here? She's ran all the way around the world. Isolate Isa and main. The spike is so far from home.
Vanya was right in the wind tunnel behind Alkia all the way through catwalk as well. Ava, unbreakable on the defense.
And Isa time to play with.
Recalling my bot.
The second that Isa sees Ava, Vanya is going to turn around this corner on her. She will have to spin on a dime.
It has to be perfect. Isa spots the first, takes her down. Is she ready for the second? Not in time. Vanya wins the last round of the half for BBL.
They'll always make you hold your breath for it, though. 5-7, it is tight, and BBL fought back after losing the pistol, losing the anti-bonus against Team Liquid. It is going to be close throughout the rest of this game, but now it is Team Liquid's chance on defense. The operator will come into play, and we just get another look at the defense of Ava. How strong she's been. She'll try to carry that into the second half as well.
Great moments from both these sides. I think that pace delivery even beyond what we expected from these two teams. But it's definitely anyone's game here on Ascent as we send it down to the halftime with Kazuki on stage with Georgina's family.
Fala pessoal, tudo bem? Estou aqui com a família da Georgina. Eles que estão acompanhando pela primeira vez o jogo presencialmente. Vou perguntar como eles estão se sentindo. Hi everyone, I'm here with Georgina's family and I'm going to ask them how they are feeling seeing their daughter playing the first time here in the international stage. Como vocês estão se sentindo com relação a Georgina jogar pela primeira vez?
Olha, a experiência é ímpar, não é? E nós viemos aqui do Pará, mas viemos para buscar a vitória.
The experience is impar. We came from really far away, but it's incredible seeing they here. E eu vou perguntar para a mãe da Georgina como que ela, para deixar uma mensagem para a Georgina, para ela ver depois do game. So I'm gonna ask Georgina's mother to say a message for them to watch after the game. So, o que você quer dizer para a Georgina para ela ver depois do jogo?
Loura, olha, nós te amamos muito, 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 temos muito orgulho de ti, viu? Beijo no teu coração.
Georgina, we love you so much. We're really proud of you. We love you so much. We want to see you soon. Thank you.
Georgina maybe channeling some of that love on the stage. She's been having a ridiculous tournament thus far.
Yeah, she's certainly loving it out there. I don't know if on the other side, BBL are loving running into Georgina's crossfire.
I don't think so.
But they are very good. Also, hello to Killjoy out there.
From Valorant.
From Valorant. Gotta love that.
Let's talk about this second half, though. How does this crazy pace for BBL transfer to the attack?
Honestly, they play more aggressively on defense than they do on attack. Don't get me wrong, there will be a lot of very fast set plays, but sometimes they just let Alkia go off and do her own thing. Like they'll do 4 players going through A main while Alkia sprints down Cat, almost like she did on defense.
Yeah.
Except she'll just solo take into tree, maybe have a paranoia or something like that to help her out. You'll see a little bit less combined play with Alkia and the rest of her team than you would see from a Bastarda with the perfect util setup of Team Liquid.
It seems like the win condition then is shutting down Alkia in these solo plays.
It really is. If you can win out in that opening fight, which often Alkia will just go ahead and take 50-50s, they can swing back in your favor.
Well, here we go. Second half pistol round and BBL set up to take mid.
Shadows traveling. Smoke over onto Cap, but there's a gnarly crossfire here with the turret that'll also engage it.
Do they activate the trap here? Isa has to follow up off the paranoia, but Felipa was never blind. And she takes her down instead. B0 from the other side, just trying to Zorg into mid, and it's not working out. BBL have advantage.
Yeah, BBL gonna run back into Cap. These two players from Team Liquid will be here quickly. Bastarda has a Sheriff in hand. She's gonna look to fish out from heaven.
Georgina on the wide angle, isolates a fight, but can't get it done. Alkia on the trades, and BBL with a pistol.
Alkia to turn it back in BBL's favor. It looked like Team Liquid snapped a little bit too quickly on that crossfire because they wanted to go for the paranoia play, but so many players are still all the way down near bench area in mid, so they dodged away from the paranoia, swung back into the line. Wasn't as clean as Team Liquid would have liked to see. This is what I'm talking about. You shouldn't be able to have players not being hit by that paranoia. Team Liquid will refresh that going into future rounds, but looks like for now it's just going to be a full-on ace tech. Poor Isa left completely on her own here.
And they didn't guess right. BBL will take this one very fast into the B site.
No stall or anything to even keep it contained here. It's really for Team Liquid. I'm wondering, I think they may have enough money to get a glass off or something later on. Eyes on this round though. Triple flank coming in from Team Liquid through main, but BBL are playing so far forward. Look at that, they're fighting back into main.
I'm watching Alkia. How many pips can she get here towards that Blade Star? It's going to be Felipa instead, harvesting up some of these eco frags as they push all the way through and punish Team Liquid's flank.
Please, I'd love some ult orbs. Please, just funnel them into me. Wens just wants anything on this, and she'll see a shoulder. Creep on up. It's all part of the bait. There's someone to her right. Daiki is able to get that kill, but if anything, you could go ahead and play for exits here and remove it. That's why all of BBL are avoiding B main going into spawn, where there are still two players set up.
A ping pong back and forth, but it is, of course, only classics. No damage really going to come out of this one. BBL keep their guns, at least for the most part.
Lost one gun.
Yeah, two.
That's
or one.
Just one. That was the same gun that TL lost. So it only counts as one at the end of the day.
Out.
That's simple math.
Quick math.
For you right there. Daiki's got the Odin though. Do you remember what Daiki did with the Odin yesterday?
A lot.
She killed a lot of people.
Yes.
It was alarming. And it was in B main as well. That wall as thin as paper. She had a lot of different angles she was working with on that one, that's for sure. What I'm almost more interested in is how aggressive Bastarda is going to look. What I'm seeing right now is her wanting to challenge top mid early, and I know BBL want to fight back.
Start is smoked off, and she'll just concede the angle. So it's fast upcat. This is kind of what you were talking about with Alkia really quickly taking space. The dart is now landed, but look at the reaction from Team Liquid. They'll go into A main instead. But here's Bastarda. I mean, they're just fighting straight into her. But Bastarda is ready. She's gotten used to the pace. Here comes the pivot. We're going back to B. Two players will entrench on the site to anchor, and Isa is up first. Fully blind, though. The Odin queued up. The dart not finding anything. Another flash connecting, but Isa finding shots. And Daiki lighting up the feed too. They have shut this down.
I think Isa just barely dodged away from the flash on that, and she destroyed Team Liquid. Good play from them on the anti-bonus versus BBL, and that's what we were expecting to see from BBL, right? Abandon Alkia to go do her own thing. It's a feint so they can go into B, but Team Liquid didn't bite on it at all. Their prep has been good coming into this tournament and coming into BBL, and if they stick to that, they're going to be very confident in this matchup.
A Prime Gaming flawless. Nothing better you could hope for on your anti-bonus. Bastarda again contesting mid.
I mean, if people keep smoking bottom mid, she's going to say that's a good trade for her. Does she step out of this with the drone, though? Because it clears right in front. No, just going to tuck over into bench. BBL waiting for a sign of early aggression out of that jet, but it hasn't come just yet.
Look at Isa. Really risky position here. She might get punished. Shots whiffing out. Wens takes her down, and now Daiki has just an Odin to be her friend on the site, and Alkia's just up and over the top. Poor Daiki didn't stand a chance.
Good shot from Bastarda to equalize somewhat, but really clearing B main is going to be tough. I think it's a great call from Bastarda to push into mid, break that turret, pull the attention of one of those two players in main. But two in main is almost impossible to disrupt.
All eyes on Bastarda. 3 flashes to support her in this round. She needs something now. She needs something clean, and Felipa won't give an opportunity. Nade into that corner will push the KO out, but Felipa wins the fight. Still, Team Liquid have found opportunities, and they've evened this one out. Paranoia into the backlines. Alkia pushes forward. She has a massive position as Georgina's just going for a crazy teleport that doesn't work out.
It slips away at the end, but it's so close. Vanya stays alive with one. You'll see, though, the entire round starts with our Killjoy stepping in front of her turret in B main, taking the fight. TL will fight BBL. They are not afraid. Neither of these teams is ready to respect the other. They want to take the fight. They think they're better, and if they lose, they don't say that was a misplay or anything. They say, I should have won that, and I'm going to win it again the next time.
Each round, we get deeper into this one. You expect one of these teams to concede, but they both refuse. We're into the next round already. And it's BBL holding back, waiting for this knife in A main.
Now we'll keep you updated on the action here as BBL take full control of main. There's an ult back into spawn that spots out two players. BBL, they're going to try to sprint in here.
Bizarra into the smoke. 1 kill found. Eva, great trade from her. Georgina, her canceled ult takes her into heaven. The revive is through, but Bastarda cuts down 2. And now Issa from heaven will do some more. Spikes on the floor. And it's Vanya alone in a 1 versus 2.
Spike still trapped over in main. She doesn't care about it. She doesn't want it. She's going to keep pushing for the kills.
Both on the other side of the smoke.
That's a judge waiting for inside of it as well.
Look at this play. She is wrapping all the way back around the world to get the spike.
She's got 45 seconds to make that. I believe Daiki heard those footsteps. Look at that reposition.
Oh,
coming
maybe
back.
She didn't. She thinks it could be a re-wrap through, and you see that Team Liquid condensing the map. No, now Daiki knows. Now Daiki hears. But there's still time to go. B, is she going to make this into a foot race?
The Vanya World Tour.
30 seconds left.
Who's faster?
From Istanbul to Sao Paulo and now over to the B site.
She's ahead of the game. A post plan is just what Vanya needs to win a round like this.
She doesn't lose those.
So how does she approach it?
She will get aggressive. She
She
will
always
step
does.
forward at you. Yeah. Usually you'd see this player go into spawn, but she has so much time to work with. She goes into market. There's
Nasty angle.
There's an alarm bot that stops her going any further.
And she finds Daiki, but the trade is there. Team Liquid dodge a bullet.
I'm going to need someone to do the math. How many rounds were won with just a single player surviving by both of these two teams?
Too many to count.
Too many to count. It's an absolute nail-biter. TL just barely throughout this game have held on to that edge. BBL always trailing just slightly, always just fighting for it. And they almost pull it back together. It's just Isa with a very clean shot at range. If Vanya had been perfect on that first shot and not had to track that first player through the wall to secure that kill, that would have been the difference.
And what a big round that is, because that is BBL's economy reset now.
Broken completely. They go for heavy armor round after round. Every round is a swing round. Rounds are more important for BBL to win than they are for Team Liquid.
And Team Liquid, they have the tools to keep on winning. Lockdown available, and already some early damage onto Alkia.
My ult's ready.
Knives gonna get popped off that surely though. And then usually with those knives, Alkia loves to go for split hits through mid. Whether that's tempting her way into tree or blitzing all the way up into market. Sometimes even spawn is on the table for her, but I think market on her eyes for now. Oh, never mind. It'll be the fake into tree, of course, while the rest of the team gears up for the B hit, a classic BBL.
She always keeps him guessing. And she's been spotted. Oh, but that is just perfect crosshair placement. 1 for 1 is more than you could ask. But look at Team Liquid. They're not baited by this.
BBL also not going back into A, instead setting up for a split into B.
There's still an alarm bot. And there's that drone. Team Liquid are now aware of what is going on, and Bizarra is on her way. Smoke up, that allows the cross, but Team Liquid only have 1 player on site.
Bastarda's all the way in BBL spawn. Time is ticking, and she's gonna have a chance to stab them in the back and mid.
BBL have to go quickly if they want to avoid this flank, because Bastarda has the line. Felipa cannot go through market, but is that where she wants to go? The timing gets weird, and Felipa escapes a flash up and over the top. Bizarra into the site. Eva will try her best, but cannot find a kill, and Daiki has the spike on the ground. Eva 1v3. The shots aren't there. That's the 10th round for Team Liquid.
Team Liquid will hear the fans. 4 or 5 of BBL will not. And they're going to have to battle back here. This is the most important round of the game for BBL. It comes after Alkia almost finds an opener over into Tree. And BBL will decide to call a timeout going into this next one.
Their second of the game.
Last player standing.
They have a lot of adversity ahead of them. 4 ultimates, everything but that null command available for Team Liquid. Their economy blossoming. This is Team Liquid's map to win. And this really is the last chance for BBL to stay in Ascent.
I mean, the things that BBL have to be concerned about, it's less their own game plan here, and it's not getting caught out by opening traps. When Knives and Hunter's Fury are up, A main is terrifying. Those tight lanes, very, very spooky from a combo play. Even if you go for a mid-market split, if that Soba is set up in Tree, that Hunter's Fury can come at almost a perpendicular angle on you and tear you apart. It is really hard to craft your way through a round like this.
And well, surprisingly, this isn't the map pick of BBL. Ascent is always the one where you expect them to feel at home. This seems like their way into the series, but thus far Team Liquid has come prepared.
And Team Liquid haven't even had to bother with giving Bastarda an up. She's just been shooting people, and that's been completely fine. They haven't even been challenged enough to need to have that happen.
With the pace at which BBL plays, the rifle works just fine.
Looks like we're still at a pause for just a moment with BBL sitting in spawn. We'll update you as soon as we get a chance to. But it does give these players a little bit more time to think about what they are really going to have in store. A lot of times you'll see like the classic Killjoy play is you play an A retake setup when you have that lockdown as an option. So I actually like that Team Liquid aren't really changing their default setup whatsoever.
Feels like BBL would be the team to shut down a retake setup like that. They absolutely love pushing through Tree, going up towards Heaven. They're so variable in what space they'll take in these post plants.
I've got an issue. I've got an update for you. It is a headset issue with one of our players. Looks like they're on stage. So we'll get that sorted as soon as possible. You better believe both players are going to be feeling the pressure, although actually maybe not. Alkia looks relaxed right there.
Big chillin'.
Monster chilling. As you can really tell as soon as the chair starts to recline on back.
What angle does it switch over? Like past like 70 degrees?
I get really concerned when it goes down to 180 degrees. Because at that point, it's a whole journey to get back
That's just
up
a
there.
bed.
You're out of the zone. It is a complete bed. But BBL still awake in this one, you might say.
They are. Keeping us awake.
Keeping us awake. Still a long day to come. Another series after this one. Maybe the most hotly anticipated series we have in the tournament, how that's going. Shopify and G2 goes in.
And whichever team loses that, they have a scary lower bracket ahead of them. It could be SMG or it could be one of these two teams who have all been standout at GCC thus far.
Now's about the time where I think it is fair, while we have lost the attack timeout, I don't believe our coaches can talk to us. I think this is anecdote time.
Okay.
Let's tell some silly stories.
I love some stories.
Let's learn about the teams. Let's learn about the players. What you got for me, Mimi?
Well, let's talk about Palestra. You know, coach of Team Liquid. He's been with these girls since pretty much the beginning, before even this rebuild.
Pretty smart dude.
Yeah, and you know what? When everyone's walking up on stage together, it's always the coach walking up in front, and all the players following behind. You know, like a line of little ducklings, right?
Yeah, and he's always holding a duck when he comes out with him too.
A goose even.
A goose, a silly stuffed goose.
And we
you might
talked
call
to
it.
him. And the players call him Mother Goose, actually.
Mother Goose.
Yes, and because of that, they gave him a little gift, which of course was a goose of his own, the one that he carries.
It was.
At every walkout.
And they even gave him a name too. It's Ponzo. I love on the other side as well.
And Ponzo, what does that mean in Portuguese? Neither of ours that good.
Duck goose. Goose duck.
Goose duck? Something
One
like
of
that.
those. I'm not an expert.
And there he is,
by any
getting
means.
involved
There
in
we
the
go.
timeout.
Even got a little necklace going on there.
Looking spiffy with the bow tie as
Real
well.
spiffy. But now the real challenge would be if we could make a little pivot over to the other side, because BBL have some support of their own.
They do.
Have you seen the happy sad octopus that you can flip inside out? They've got in their hands. Yeah, that's Bunchuck. And a big help to the team, especially when the going gets tough here, down 10-8.
That's a head-to-head that I'm really worried about in this match.
Who do you think wins? Because honestly, the actual size of their two stuffed animals, the goose is larger, but in a real-world situation, the goose is floating on the top of the water. An octopus underneath, that's got to be GG for the goose.
It's got to be.
That's a BG, as a matter of fact. You don't even see it coming.
Octopi are scary.
Octopi are
Not every
scary.
day you can say octopi.
That's really not, especially not in Valorant.
No.
Although, aren't there
like
some
Omen
theories?
like an octopus or something? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure Omen is just like a dark cloud with a lot of like,
Everyone
I know,
knows
teenage
the lore
angst
well,
that he needs to
right
get
now.
out of his system.
Vanya really putting that angst. Isn't it crazy that she's the IGL team? She's always the smokes player. Yet somehow, in a world where duelists get all the attention.
In a world where duelists get all the attention.
This world.
This world.
She's the player that everyone thinks about when they think BBL. Oh,
she's the player.
Hold on, we've got a game ahead of us. No.
I thought we were gonna get a little rock, paper, scissors. You know what? If you've been watching the walkouts throughout this tournament, you would have seen the rock, paper, scissors games when they're doing the walkouts. Some people just don't know how to play. Like they just go rock immediately. There's no wind up.
I've noticed in different countries, sometimes the rock, paper, scissors meta is different. Like it'll be like 1, 2, 3 shoot, or rock, paper, scissors shoot, or.
Are you a rock, paper, scissors and you go on scissors?
No, rock, paper, scissors.
Because I'm a go on scissors kind of guy. That's the
California
meta.
education system is very
what can
wrong.
I say?
But thankfully, we're back into the real game, Valorant. To update you, it is a very important round. 4 ultimates for Team Liquid, BBL out of their timeout, trying to break this momentum.
It's also a game of rock, paper, scissors, and BBL are coming in on the attack with the giant rock. 5 players into B main, teleporting across to break that crossfire. And a counter Hunter is Fury out of Daiki. She's killing everybody.
How many tags did she get with that? 3, but can't follow it up for a kill. Locked down into the site, but look how far ahead Alkia is, and they are just being destroyed. TL pick off 2 wins. Thankfully, for BBL has found the trade, and they've now found the B site.
Team Liquid solid on that defense. But the site is now open. They're leaving Wenz over into B main. Wenz will be the difference in this round. If she can fish for something out of here, get 1, get 2, BBL are right back into it.
But she's smoked off. It's going to be so difficult to get out.
They're fighting up on lane here. No flash to work with. They're going to have to peek out of the smoke and take the fight.
When do they find their timing? When does Team Liquid activate? When do they spring this trap? Out goes Georgina, and she falls immediately. Here comes that swing from main. Eva needs to go massive here, and she's already found one. It's a lockdown ticking, and it's Issa denying.
11 HP. Issa stays alive. That will be 11 for Team Liquid.
The most important round of the game, and it goes to TL.
Issa lets them know as well.
She knows how important it was.
BBL's backs are broken off of that. 11-8 for Team Liquid. They're gonna have rifles and light armor. But BBL, they narrowly tried to make it back in. It was lost at the end.
But what really could be killer is that ult economy. Team Liquid still have this KO null command, still have a way to make it back into sight. If last round was a chance for BBL to win cleanly, this is the one to stay alive.
The op is here for Bastarda, and it comes with aggressive A main fight. These 2 players fainting. There's nothing behind us. They'll take this fight even if BBL beat them. Bastarda will be there with her perfect op.
Remember, she hasn't had to show the operator yet this half.
BBL aren't ready for it. And they're going to come down into Cat straight into her. The first line, she's taking that fight.
TP forward. And Bastarda is taken down. Doesn't even get a shot off with the operator. Bazera somehow still alive. She'll pop her null command to try and defend this A site. But look where these players are. Everyone's in A main now, vacating all the way around the world for Georgina. And she actually has an angle onto Eva. This is unbelievable. If her teammate can bait Eva in, she can find the line, but she jumps down at just the wrong moment,
She
and
falls
Eva
off.
kills Bizetta.
And now 3 players on site for BBL. Georgina teleporting forward. She's going to try and find that drone. Eva
What a
falls.
play. Massive moment from Georgina. But can they win the round off of it? Because Felipa has still found a shot. It's even again. 2 versus 2. Will tag Felipa, but Alkia's done enough. Or has she? Daiki's still alive! It's the Odin in her hand! And that is her gun! The 19-year-old leader with another clutch. Map point Team Liquid.
Daiki leads by example. Daiki leads from the front. And Daiki have taken Team Liquid all the way. Bastarda fell as a perfect flash on this entry, but in the chaos of it all, Georgina finding one. And here Daiki playing off of her own dart. How many times have you seen that? Her utility perfect, her gunplay somehow even better. Daiki does it all.
And that's heartbreak for BBL. They go back to what works. Speed. Their pace, it has been high this whole map. And they'll keep it going towards the A site, but they can't commit just yet. They're stalled out.
Yeah, 4 players get hit by the knife on that one. They're gonna fall back, and who do they fall back into? Bastarda. The operator gone, but she's bottom mid, ready to take this fight.
They'll circumvent Bastarda. Back towards B instead. Wentz. Big trouble. She's fallen. Now this forces them to commit towards B. Or to go back through mid to try and clear something out. There's not many options though.
BBL think going B is way too readable at this point. There's no drone, so it's really hard to fake a hit over onto this side.
But what do they have to re-clear space? There's still players in A main.
And they can't step into mid. If they do, the start is there. It'll be a really strange fake over onto B. They'll call in smokes from Vanya. That feints 1 player. Sova Jet can show that paints 3 over towards B, but it's actually 2 stacking into A.
Look at Issa's angle though. She knows that no one can be out onto the site yet. She's keeping these players on A, and they are activating so early. No one's committed through. The re-clear is their team. Liquid knows. And they're ready on this site. Great paranoia. Forces Felipa away, a nade as well. They are stalled out yet again.
20
Last
seconds.
chance for BBL to make something of this map. Georgina again swings from dice, finds one. She's got 3 in the round, and Alkia, she's got nothing. Team Liquid, 13-8, take map number 1.
Team Liquid had the guts to pick Ascent up against BBL Queens. Match the Turkish team on Ascent, and they look damn good there.
And the thing is today, it's new players stepping up. That map was about Bizera, about Issa having standout matches. Team Liquid is proving why they committed to the remake of this team at the beginning of the year. Why this new talent from Brazil is so damn good. That's the first map of the series, but BBL, I'm sure they've got more in the tank, because Haven's coming up after this.
When you play an actual ranked game, it's 50 minutes, but how much are you actually shooting? With Aim Labs, you can compete in over 1,000 tasks that will prepare you for any scenario in any game. So the new ranked season, you play, you get points, you can compare yourself to your friends. With Aim Labs' new one-to-one Valorant maps, you get instant feedback on how to get better crosshair placement, better peak efficiency. You can also instantly modify existing tasks with Discovery. Get started today by downloading the Aim Labs for free and join millions of other satisfied players.